Yo, what's good YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoot, back with a showdown live. We haven't did one in a long time, and it's 420, so we got the Mega Blaziken squad here. A fairly balanced kind of squad, featuring Mega Blaziken with Protect and Swords Dance. Now, I kind of want to run Stone Edge on it, but I didn't want to bypass Protect. It comes in clutch, and Swords Dance comes in clutch sometimes. I'm actually not rocking Flare Blitz because of the recoil, and it's not as accurate, but it's the strongest attack outside of Flare Blitz that I can use. Packing the Blaze Kick, and then we have Low Kick. Obviously, things in the Uber tier are really big and heavy, so Low Kick does the most damage. Basically, a 120 base power move most of the time. Next up, we've got Primal Groudon. It's our Stealth Rocker with Precipice Blades, Overheat, and Toxic. It's even though it's defensive, it hits really hard with Precipice Blades and Overheat. Overheat actually smacks Yveltal after Stealth Rocks if it's defensive, so that's pretty cool. Kyogre is a defensive variant as well with Scald, Rest Talk, and Toxic. Toxic to kind of wear down other primals, Groudon or Kyogre. And then our Yveltal is a defensive variant, kind of our Groudon check. Mons that annoy Mega Blaziken are things like Primal Groudon, Kyogre, Yveltal, Mewtwo, things like that. And Yveltal helps versus those kind of things. And we got the Charty Berry there so that we can take a Stone Edge after Stealth Rocks, whether it be from Arceus or Primal Groudon itself. We can survive a +2 Stone Edge thanks to our Charty Berry. We can also tank a +2 Extreme Speed from Arceus if it's E-Killer, and bop it with the Foul Play if it gets up a Swords Dance, so that's really nice. We've got Sucker Punch to try to catch some things off guard, and then Roost and Toxic for kind of like Toxic Spam and Roost for longevity. Next up is our Xerneas. We have a Choice Scarf variant with Moonblast, Focus Blast, so it's the blaster, Aromatherapy, and Defog. Defog to get rid of rocks. It helps Yveltal live a little bit longer, helps Mega Blaziken and Groudon's longevity as well as itself, and Aromatherapy is nice to get rid of Toxic if my opponent, lands versus me, or even paralysis and things like that. Last but not least, we have Necrozma Desk Main. It is our designated Xerneas check with leftovers, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Sun Steel Strike, and Morning Sun. We are max HP, max Death. So yeah, it's going to be the squad, and we can go ahead and look for a battle. So we'll be right back with the battle. Alright, so we've got a game, and we're facing off against Sand V6, where he's got what looks like both primals as well, the Yveltal and the Necrozma Dusk Mane. Arceus, probably E-Killer based on, the way his team looks. I don't think he needs like a defog support. It looks very offensive. And then he's got the Marshadow. So I think keys to victory here are weakening his defensive backbones, especially his Xerneas checks, and then potentially win with the Xerneas here. So that being said, we're going to lead off with Kyogre. Reason being is we can Toxic his leads, and he does lead off with his own Kyogre. I'm not sure if his Primordial Sea going first means anything, but I can check it out here. So we're gonna go for a Toxic here. See what our opponent wants to do. He also lands a Toxic on us. Not too big of an issue because we do have Rest, and we do have Aromatherapy in the back. So we're going to Rest here as our opponent goes for the Origin Pulse. Bounces off, really doesn't even do 30%, and we're able to get a turn down. So we're going to go ahead and Sleep Talk here as our opponent actually goes for the Toxic, and maybe we get a Scald. We do get a Scald, so that's really nice. Weakens him. And after poison damage, he's below half, so that's really nice. I think the play here is to actually Sleep Talk again, as our opponent reveals Rest. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but what we can do here is see if he's got Rest Talk. He may be the Toxic equivalent, or the equivalent to my set, but has Origin over Scald. What I'm going to do is pull a switch out into my Groudon here. See what my opponent wants to go for here. He does reveal Sleep Talk. He gets the Origin Pulse, and it does nothing. So what we can do is just get up our Stealth Rocks as our opponent pulls a switch into Arceus, and that's Arceus Ground. So he's more than likely got defog here. I'm going to toxic on the defog, expecting my opponent to expect my switch, since he does have the type advantage. And what I can do now is go into Yveltal on the judgment if he wants to go for that, or earthquake. He does go for the judgment. So he's got a couple different plays here. I'm going to throw off another toxic here, as he actually pulls a switch out into his primal Growlithe, and we're able to poison that thing. So now I'm going to click foul play. I have no reason not to, as he actually pulls another switch into the Yveltal. So really nice to get his Yveltal in without it being poisoned. I'm going to throw off a toxic here, and we do land as he goes for the Oblivion Wing, but only does 35%. So I'm going to roost one turn here, see what he wants to do. As he goes for the Oblivion Wing again, I'm going to hard switch out into Necrozma this turn, expecting another Oblivion Wing. So let's see what he wants to do, as we're going to pull a switch out to our Necrozma. He does go for the Oblivion Wing, and he gets a critical hit. Okay, I was going to say that did a lot. It did, in fact, do a lot. So I'm going to take the opportunity to get Stealth Rocks up here, expecting my opponent to switch, but he does stay in, going for the Oblivion Wing once again. I don't see him going for the Oblivion Wing a third time here. I'm going to switch out to the Yveltal, as my opponent does go for the Dark Pulse here. Okay, so that was really nice for us. We're going to roost. We did reveal to be faster multiple times earlier. I don't think we won each speed tie. I do think we were just faster. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roost up a couple more times here. The toxic damage is racking up severely versus my opponent here. I'm going to roost once more, because he could get a low roll here. He actually gets a higher roll than he had been getting. So that's a little bit unfortunate. What I'm going to do is going to roost up one more time here. So our opponent looks to be Metronome. He looked to be Metronome there, as his moves were doing more damage by the turn. So that was interesting. I didn't note that at the beginning. A little bit unfortunate for me. I'm going to roost here. I know I can take an Ice Beam. So let's see here. I can get my rocks back up, so if he defogs, it's fine. I'm going to go out into Kyogre here, and now I have the type advantage once again. And I've been asleep for 2 turns, so I'm going to click Scald here. I don't mind if he goes out to his Primal Growlithe. I don't mind whatsoever. I get a round of toxic damage off, and I can go hard out into my Yveltal as he goes for the Overheat. So really nice play. Yeah, he does go for that. Okay, so I kind of expected that. Expecting my switch there. That was really good on him. But what it gives me is my Kyogre back with Rain up. So now I get to fire off, well, not necessarily. I'm actually going to double out into my Groudon, expecting his Kyogre to come out. And it does come out. And what we can do here is just click the Precipice Blades. Get a little bit of chip damage off on this thing. Alright, so what we're going to do is get the weather advantage. As he goes for the Origin Pulse, we get him there. He's more than likely going to rest here, so we're going to go back out into the Groudon. As he does rest, and now we can click the Precipice Blades once again. And it should 2-hit KO this thing. Well, it's going to be close. I still have the advantage here, even if you rest, because these are rolls, and if I can get 2 good rolls, I'll be in a fine position. So that one leaves him at 50%. Rest Talk gets the Origin Pulse, and we're going to be able to, we miss. So that's unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of annoying, but well, we gotta play this game. This is the way the game's going to go. Man, that overheat play really got me, and I called it too, and then it happened. So he pulls a switch out to his Arceus here, and I missed the Precipice Blades once again. That's a little bit unfortunate, but what can you do? He doesn't have a Xerneas. I don't really have a need for my Necrozma, so I'll actually pull a switch out here as he clicks Recover. I'm going to click Sunsteel Strike here. So he pulls a switch out to his Groudon. Gets the Harsh Sun back up. We get a little bit of damage here though, so that's nice. Versus the Groudon. Well, we're putting Blaziken in a good position here. And Kyogre's at 50%, so Blaziken's at a phenomenal position right now. What we're going to do here is switch out into... Do we need Kyogre any longer? What do we need Necrozma for? Nothing really, and as long as he's not like Double Dance, Rest, Overheat, then we'll be in an okay position. So what I'm going to do is click Morning Sun here. So he actually gets his rocks up. So that sucks for us. But we are back to full now. And I think he's going to click Overheat. So I'm going to go out into the Kyogre. And he does go for the Overheat, and the Poison's going to knock him out. So that was really nice for us. We basically got to keep Necrozma and Kyogre. Thanks to that play. I'll take that all day, every day. It was actually really cool for us. So he brings in his Kyogre. I wasn't paying attention for a minute. Looks like the Kyogre comes in. I'm not sure how long it was on screen. But nonetheless, it is in. And he has had 0 turns of rest so far. So I'm going to pull a hard switch into my Groudon and go straight for the Precipice Blades. He is in range. As he pulls a Sleep Talk on the Toxic. Precipice Blades bounces off the Arceus, but he is poisoned. So we're at a semi-advantage here. Semi-advantage. Groudon's still really nice for the Marshadow and the Necrozma, so I'm definitely going to keep it. And I'm going to go into my Kyogre here. It's the most expendable. So he's probably going to go for the Judgment here. Yeah, he does go for the Judgment. Follows that up with another Judgment there, so that's really nice for him. I think my play is to go into Blaziken here and click Protect. Just click Protect here, see what my opponent wants to do. He may recover, he may hard switch out. Goes for the Judgment, and he's going to die to the Poison. So that's nice for us. Now he brings in the Necrozma here. I think we can click Blaze Kick here, and it forces him to go into Dragon mode. He's going to knock us out with the Photon Geyser, and now I believe we sweep with Xerneas. I believe we sweep with Xerneas at this point. Necrozma goes down to the Photon Geyser, and our opponent forfeits. So that was a good game. That was a really fun game, and we're going to go ahead and look for another one. Alright, so we got another game here against Force Mewtwo. And he's got a Mewtwo, Yveltal, Xerneas, Dialga, Ho-Oh and the Gengar, more than likely the Mega Gengar. So just looking at the matchup, I think I want to lead off with my Primal Growlithe because he's more than likely going to lead off with Dialga. And this gives us an advantage. We can get up our Stealth Rocks, or we can just click Precipice Blades. He probably is Shuka Berry, so we're just going to get up our rocks here. Or I thought we were. So we get blown back. We get blown back there by the Tectonic Rage. So that's pretty scary. I guess what we have to do is go into our Blaziken now. He does have the Ho-Oh, so we're not like too keen on winning with Blaziken. And we can just click the low kick here, and it knocks him out. So that's really nice for us. Really nice for us. 1-for-1 trade there. I'm really glad he didn't go out to the Ho-Oh. That kind of brings the turn one back. I did not expect the Tectonic Rage, and that just blew us back there. So a little bit unfortunate for me. He does go out into his Yveltal though. So what I'm going to do is actually click Protect here, as he goes for the Oblivion Wing. So I'm going to go out into Necrozma, bait the Oblivion Wing here, and now this should prompt him to go for the Dark Pulse if he has it. So now I can pull a switch out to Xerneas, as my opponent goes for the Dark Pulse with the Foul Play. The Foul Play does come out. So what we can do is now is just click Moonblast, see what our opponent wants to do. His initial response is going to be the Ho-Oh. Takes nothing. We're going to go hard out into Kyogre. He more than likely goes for the Brave Bird, and he revealed Leftovers, so I know he's not Choice Banded, and we'll be able to take this on. Not super comfortably, but we'll take it on okay. Here he actually poisons us, so we could rest first, or we could click Scald first and get some damage off on something. I think that's going to be the play. As he goes out into the Gengar, and that just drops. So no Mega Gengar in this match. Again, though, he could be Mega Mewtwo. I just doubt it though. I don't see a reason to bring Gengar over regular Gengar. I mean, yeah, regular Gengar over Mega Gengar. So he does bring in the Mewtwo now though. So I'm going to Toxic this thing, as he goes for the Side Strike and reveals the Life Orb damage. So I'm going to go out to Necrozma here to just, rack up an extra turn of toxic damage, but he actually predicts that and goes for the Shadow Ball. So good play on him. It only did 36 though, so I'm going to Morning Sun once. And that puts me at an okay position. And my opponent's actually going to forfeit. So that's another W. We're going to go ahead and find another one real quick. Okay, so we got another game here after the last guy kind of just forfeited. And we're facing off against Mega Ridley 2.0. And he doesn't have like super good counterplay to a Toxic Kyogre. So I'm going to lead off with that. See what my opponent wants to lead with. Leads off with this Primal Growlithe. Gets up the Sun, but we're going to get up the Rain immediately. So that's really good for us. He's going to switch here. That's a given. So I'm going to throw off a Toxic, as he goes into Lugia. So now I'm going to click Scald. So my opponent stays in and just clicks Toxic versus me. And my opponent may Roost here. I'm going to throw off a Toxic in case he doesn't. He does though. That's fine. Now I'm going to rest. My opponent clicks Psychic, and I'm going to be able to rest up here. And now I can click Sleep Talk. Hopefully I get a Toxic land here. That would be best case scenario. And we do. Nice. So that's really cool for us. We can hard switch out into our Yveltal. And our opponent takes the opportunity to get rocks up. Not bad, but he doesn't have, look at his entire team, he doesn't have a Foul Play switch in. So instead of clicking Toxic or anything here, I'm just going to click Foul Play and get some big damage off on this Groudon, which weakens it for Mega Blaziken and Xerneas to put in the work. So that's really good for us. He's going to get chip damage off on us, so what we're going to do here is going to roost up. He did get a crit, so that sucks. But we roost up back to full, basically, and he's going to faint to the toxic damage. So, in comes the Xerneas, or, well, excuse me, the Arceus, which is posing as a Xerneas, if it's a Calm Mind variant. But, ooh, very nice. He makes a prediction here and goes for the Earth Power, and then catches me with a Will-O-Wisp. So that's really unfortunate. I'm going to have to throw off a Toxic here, see if I can get some damage off on this thing. And then I'm going to have to Morning Sun up. I can't let him just wear me down here. I could potentially use this thing later on. Thankfully, no crit there. Now I can Morning up once more. He's at 82% now after the poison damage, so that's really nice for us. And this turn, our opponent forfeited. Alright, we're going to grab another one real quick. Alright, so after 2 forfeits, we've got our 4th game here, and hopefully this one can be as good as the first one. And he doesn't have much Kyogre counterplay, so we're going to lead off with Kyogre. Kyogre is such a good lead versus other teams that don't have like dragons or Kyogre itself. So check that out. I know immediately he's going to switch, so I can just throw off a Toxic here. He more than likely goes into the Lugia, as it's so bulky. I don't know if you guys play a lot of Ubers, but Lugia is so bulky. That was a powerful Precipice Blades, though. That did over half. Like, that's so powerful. I'm going to hard switch out into Yveltal here. I don't know if he's going to predict that. He doesn't. He just goes for the Precipice Blades once again. So what I'm going to do here is click Toxic, expecting his Xerneas to potentially come in. Maybe Arceus. But he does go into the Xerneas, so that's good for us. Land this nice Toxic here, and we can go hard into our Necrozma, which gives us Stealth Rocks. Depending on what he does here. If he attacks, we get Rocks. Yeah, we do get Rocks. He goes for the Moonblast, gets a special attack drop. It's kind of meaningless to us. And we're going to be able to get a Rocks up here, so... Let's see what he wants to do. He goes into Yveltal. That's going to be okay. And wonder if he predicts our Xerneas, because that's what we're going to go into. See what he wants to do here. He may have Defog. He does have Defog. So he's able to get rid of our Rocks. But what we're going to do is we're going to double out into Groudon, expecting his Necrozma to come out. And then we're going to get our Rocks back up, baiting the Yveltal to Defog, so we can poison it with the Toxic. That's going to be the game plan. However, our opponent goes into Lugia instead, which is going to give us a Toxic on this thing. In return, we have to take a Toxic, but that's going to be okay. What we can do now is go into... We're going to double Toxic, expecting the Yveltal to come out. He actually goes into Arceus Water, which is a fine play there. I guess expecting us to go for the Overheat or something. I'm not real sure, but what this does is it gives us our Primal Kyogre so that we can rest up. So he's got Defog on another mon as well. Is the Groudon poisoned? I think we've poisoned Groudon already. So what we're going to do here is rest up instead of clicking the Toxic on this turn. And expecting his Groudon now, or expecting a switch, anything, but I don't expect Xerneas to come in. So I'm going to go into my Yveltal. And this gives me a foul play on what I think is going to be his Xerneas coming in. So just going to click foul play here. He's eventually, he may come in with Xerneas actually, and he excuse me, he did go for the, I knew that foul play would do a lot too based on the damage output of this Groudon earlier. If he goes into Xerneas though, we get chip on that. And he did go for Moonblast earlier, so I'm not sure if he is just bluffing Scarf and wants to reveal later the Geomancy, or he may just be Geomancy and he just went for Moonblast knowing it was too early to set up. However, he was able to get some damage off first, so or get his Rocks up before I attack there. So I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch and knock him out. And now in comes the Xerneas once again. So I'm going to go into Necrozma. It's always going to be my switch in. I can't let this thing get out of hand. And yeah, he does go for the Geomancy now. So that's really scary. But he can't knock us out in one hit here unless he gets a critical hit. Or he parries us and then, you know, beats us down by full parries. But yeah, Sunsteel Strike into the poison damage was able to knock him out here. And our opponent is going to forfeit. So we're going to grab another one. That was a little bit quick one. Alright, so we got one more here. And our opponent is Godzilladon. And he's got the Deoxys, which looks like a lead. I think Xerneas is going to be a fine lead here. We might catch the Deoxys off guard by outpacing it. And we might catch a Rayquaza off guard as well. Man. Actually, we could lead off with Yveltal. We're going to lead off with Yveltal because if he does lead with Deoxys attack, then our foul plays do a lot. And it's more than likely that he goes straight into the Xerneas. I'm going to throw off a Toxic on turn 1. Ooh, okay, so my opponent goes for an Ice Beam, and that was very, very powerful. Oh man, my opponent just wrecked me. I'm not going to lose Yveltal that easily though. I'm going to go hard out into my Necrozma. As my opponent goes for the extreme speed once again. This turn I'm going to attempt to get rocks up. And then Morning Sun up on the following turn. So this isn't too bad of a position for me. I misplayed my Yveltal pretty bad. I should have just attacked him. I didn't expect the Ice Beam on turn 1 though. That's the reason I did not. Any move he goes for is going to bounce off. I don't want to waste any of my Morning Sun PP or my Sunstrike PP, so I'm just going to click Rocks again. And then he'll die to the poison damage. So I didn't have to waste an attack there. Morning Sun and Sunsteel Strike PP is really low. It's 8 apiece. So I didn't want to waste that just yet. Arceus is a problem though. I'm going to click Toxic on turn 1, expecting him to Swords Dance up. I didn't expect him to go for like sub. Based on the rest of his team, I felt like he needed coverage for certain things. I think he needs Earthquake. I think he needs Extreme Speed. And I think he needs Stone Edge. But I did land that Toxic, so... And I don't necessarily want... Oh man, this is tough. I don't want Necrozma taking any damage because I need it for the Xerneas. So I'm going to sack off Yveltal here. As my opponent actually goes for the Earthquake. And he might predict my Sucker Punch here. I'm just going to click Foul Play. My opponent makes no prediction. He attacks me. So that's a good play on him. I'm thinking actually that Kyogre might be one of the better mons to go into here, because it just looks more expendable versus the rest of his squad. However, it is my Kyogre switching. Now I've already got Rock Sub, so I guess Groudon's actually my least useful mon here. And poison, toxic damage into toxic damage, even if I don't hit him here. Yeah, if he knocked me out here, then I could have just clicked. I could have clicked the Protect on the Mega Blaziken on the following turn to put me in an okay position. So he goes out into Rayquaza here. I'm going to click Toxic in case he tried to Dragon Dance up. And this is going to give me my Xerneas. And I am Choice Scarf, so I can just click Moonblast here. He goes hard into his Kyogre, and this is where saving my own Kyogre is really nice. Instead of going into my Groudon, or instead of going into my Kyogre, I went into Groudon earlier, and that's really nice for this exact moment. So I'm going to click Toxic here. Okay, dang. I should have definitely clicked rest because I forgot about thunder, and now things are a little bit problematic. However, I can go into Blaziken here. This is regular Kyogre, so I can go into Blaziken here and just click protect, and then low kick on the following turn. Yeah, able to just click protect there as he goes for the origin pulse, and I'll click low kick here. Puts him in range of Scarf Xerneas. And now I can just go into that and click Moonblast. Yeah, it goes out into his own zone. But goes for Thunderbolt. That was strange. I'm going to click Toxic here. Predicting the mints to come in. Yeah, best play by far. What? Considerably my best play. I'm going to go harden my Xerneas. Because reason being is if he doesn't have double edge into Earthquake, double edge on my Necrozma into Earthquake on my Zern, and then sacking off my Necrozma is a win condition. Because he locked himself into Thunderbolt versus my Xerneas earlier. So I'm going to bank on him doing such a thing again. So he goes, ooh, he does have the double edge. So after this round, he will die to toxic damage. And I can click the Sunsteel Strike this turn. Man, I should have went into Xerneas on the Earthquake there. Too risky in case he roosted though. And now it leaves us with Xerneas versus Xerneas. I'm at higher HP, and I'm Choice Scarf. So I'm going to go immediately for the Moonblast. As our opponent goes for the Geomancy. Okay, so I think that's a loss. Yeah, that's going to be a game. That's unfortunate. I say we can get one more. I don't want to end on a loss. So, yeah, we'll get one more. Okay, so this is going to be the last one. We're facing off against Rimsit B. Rimsit B. Whatever. Anyways, he's got Kyurem, Watt, Mega Kangaskhan, Marshadow, Shaman Sky, Arceus, and the Deoxys Speed. So we're going to lead off with Necrozma and just click Sunsteel Strike versus Deoxys here. I would say that he just gets up rocks or spikes or something like that. He maybe taunts us. So he goes for the Thunder Wave. And he actually misses. Which gives us a huge hit off. The fact that he doesn't go for taunt is going to make me... I'm more inclined to click rocks on this turn. Because bar Paris, I will knock him out the following turn anyway. Oh, and he decides to get his own rocks up here, so I may get out of this without being paralyzed. So I'm going to go for the Sunsteel Strike there, and I do get paralyzed, so that's unfortunate, I should say. So the Deoxys Speed is faster than my Choice Scarf Xerneas. So that's a no-no. I'm just going to go for the Sunsteel Strike once again. He doesn't have a Xerneas, so this thing's not as important to me in this match. And I'm just going to click Sunsteel Strike once again. And he does taunt me finally. That prevents me from any kind of shenanigans on the following turn. But at the same time, I'm okay with that. I take less damage. He did knock my item off though. He knocked my leftovers off. But like I mentioned, this thing is not as important. It's not important at all, honestly. What I can do here is go hard into my Yveltal. He brings in his Arceus, and this thing looks like the E-Killer. So I'm going to go hard into my Yveltal. If he clicks sub, I will break his sub with Foul Play. If he clicks Swords Dance, then he cannot knock me out, and I can, in turn, potentially knock him out with the Foul Play, depending on his attack investment, which should be high if he's E-Killer, which I predict. However, Arceus is bulky, though, so it could potentially live. And that would be scary. I do have the Charty Berry. If he goes for SD and into Stone Edge and bar crits, I will knock him out here. Or I will survive. And he is Life Orb as well, so if this Foul Play didn't knock him out, he would still be in range of Life Orb damage on the following, or on that turn. And it could, at least couldn't get more than, 2 knockouts. So that would have been nice for us. He brings in a Kangaskhan here. I'm sure he's going to click Fake Out. He may click Power Up Punch, which could be problematic, but I do have Mega Blaziken, which can revenge kill him. So I'm going to go hard into my Mega Blaziken here. He doesn't have a switch in at this point, so I'm going to click Protect. I don't see him just sacking something off. He could go into Marshadow, predicting my low kick. And he just goes for the Body Slam. Okay, so that's fine. I can just click low kick here. Our opponent clicks Sucker Punch. Gets a little bit of chip damage off, but nothing to worry about. And he's forced into Marshadow here. And I'm going to run a damage calc. I don't have Flare Blitz. I have Blaze Kick. And I don't think that knocks out from this range. But I am going to run a calc real quick just to check. And I'm Jolly as well, so that makes me even weaker than standard. And the reason I'm Jolly is because, as you just seen there, it saved me in a predicament with Mega Kangaskhan. Had I not been able to get a speed boost off or something there, had I not had Protect, then Jolly would have made it to where it was at least a speed tie. So let me check this Marshadow. If he is a... No, let me put the Blaze Kick in. And it does not knock out from this range. And Blaziken's still really good versus the rest of his squad. So I'm not going to let it go down. I am going to actually just go out into my Groudon and get a little bit of chip damage off on this thing. Or force him to take, get the close combat damage and actually have to have his defenses lowered. But he did reveal to be Life Orb, actually. I'm going to throw off a Toxic here. And Life Orb Shadow Sneak. Does that knock out Mega Blaziken? It's going to do close to 60%. Will I be at 60%? I'll be just out of range of Life Orb Shadow Sneak. So I'm actually going to go for game next time I bring that in. No, not yet, not yet. He needs 2 more rounds of Stealth Rock damage before I'm ready to do that. What's he go for here? I'm not actually sure, but I know I don't need a Kyogre. And I'm going to see what he goes for here. I'm going to go out to my Kyogre, gets up the rain, and he goes for the Earth Power. Okay, so that's actually decent damage there. He might go into his Shaman. I'm going to click Toxic in case he does. And if he goes into Marshadow, that's fine too. Toxic damage racking up will be good for Mega Blaziken. If this guy doesn't switch up his move, though, I may be inclined to actually just bring back in Mega Blaziken and click Protect. I'm going to rest up here in case he misplays. Here I'm going to go into Mega Blaziken as well, and in case he's Scarf, I'm going to click Protect. And yeah, he's just going to follow out the poison. Now he brings in either Shaman Sky or the Marshadow. And what we can do is just go into our Groudon here. And he's forced to, I don't think Spectral Thief knocks us out here. He's kind of forced to click the close combat. And it doesn't even knock out either. It does a nice 39% there. So Marshadow not broken, confirmed. And we're just going to let Xerneas take the damage. I've got a plan here for Mega Blaziken to win out. So we're going to let Xerneas take the damage here. The toxic damage and the life orb damage is going to continuously add up here. And this turn, well, he won't get life orb damage this turn. I'm going to click Aromatherapy here because Shadow Sneak won't knock me out, and I think that's what he'll go for. And if he don't go for a Shadow Sneak, then I will be in a prime position to, well, it'll be fine to just sack off my Groudon because I can click Protect on the following turn with Mega Blaziken. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get my Blaziken in. Protect up versus the Marshadow and let it die that way. And then on the following turn, I'll be faster than the Shaman. So yeah, down goes the Groudon onto the rocks, and in comes the Mega Blaziken. Click Protect here as my opponent goes for the close combat. Dies to the poison. So Mega Blaziken not even having to attack here and getting cool knockouts with the Protect. He brings in the Shaman Sky here. And could it be Scarf? Could it be Scarf Shaman? He could be, actually. He is. Oh man, that's scary. And my Necrozma is poisoned. Oh man, that's scary, scary. So first of all, we want to Morning Sun up. He could definitely win here with just if he wins on this Serene Grace. This is still the last live. I'm not gonna play another one on a little bit of tilt here because I thought I played that really well to position my Mega Blaziken, but he ends up being Scarf Shaman, so it was really nice. I could have went, had I really predicted the Scarf Shaman, I could have went off another Protect, a double Protect there, but that's not the case. So as you can see, Air Slash is going to bounce off, doing a nice 10%. So hopefully we can get a Morning Sun up eventually. Nice, and we get it. Okay, so now all we need to do is land a Toxic and start to whittle this Shaman down with the Toxic. I could also go for Sunsteel Strike. Sunsteel Strike probably knocks out in 2 shots, but if I'm not able to break Paralysis, then I can still live if I land a Toxic because he would need 8 flinches in a row. Toxic would add up by then and knock him out. So Toxic's definitely the better play because if I get flinched to death, 1 Toxic beats 1 Sunsteel Strike. I've clicked Toxic. I'm just waiting on my opponent to click. And he may just leave here, not wanting to bank on the flinches. It's going to be interesting to see what he decides. He could also be running down the timer just to be an ass and make it even more frustrating than it already is. So how many Air Slash PP do you have? 20 left? I'm actually going to say GG in the chat to prompt him to click an attack. Bars on bars on bars. Yeah, well, Unfortunately, we didn't see that get to be played out. But fact of the matter is, if he did not get Serene Grace luck, then we would win. Unfortunately, the luck would be in his favor. Anyways, that's going to be the last. Mega Blaziken coming through there, picked up the knockout on Mega Kangaskhan, protect toxic damage on the Marshadow, I think on the Kyurem as well. So that's really nice. I thought it was going to sweep here, but he ended up being the Sharp Shaman. So that was really fun. I enjoyed the squad a lot. You guys see how it works. I don't remember if we actually faced a Ho-Oh, but the combination of Groudon, Yveltal, and Kyogre kind of really deals with Ho-Oh really well, and you can poison it and things like that. Alternatively, you could run Stone Edge on Mega Blaziken as well. It's really nice if you want to run like an Adamant Protect variant or a Swords Dance Jolly variant with Stone Edge on there instead of having both Protect and Swords Dance. I just feel like sometimes Mega Blaziken is already faster than some other threats, and you can set up a Swords Dance and just sweep through the entire team. In other instances, you need that Protect. Some instances, you need the Swords Dance. But either way, Mega Blaziken's a really awesome mon to use. I've always been keen to use it in the Draft League format, but unfortunately it's banned in most leagues, and I don't play in any Uber leagues currently. So just wanted to bring this Uber live out and play with my boy Mega Blaziken. One of the candidates, it would have been one of the candidates for my mascot had Mega Alakazam, and Alakazam not been. So fantastic. But yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about the games. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.